Hi, welcome to Inkpot. In this video, we are going to start with the Unit 2 of Cost Accounting. The chapter is Material. Now, what is this material control? We all know that there are three important elements of cost, and these elements are cost includes, we all know, we have already discussed this. Cost includes material plus labor plus expenses. So material being one of the important element of cost, therefore we need to control the cost of material. Now, material control can be defined as a systematic control over purchasing of material. We need to control the cost of purchase of material. We can control the cost at the time of receiving the material, at the time of inspection of material, storage, issuing, maintenance of inventory record, and stock audit. So this we will discuss in detail one by one. Now, first of all, methods of purchasing. How to control the cost of purchasing the material. So, first of all, we should know what are the different methods of purchasing. We have centralized purchasing and we have decentralized purchasing. Now, what is the difference between centralized purchasing and decentralized purchasing? I'm going to write here. Sorry. So, centralized purchasing and decentralized purchasing. Centralized and decentralized purchasing. Now, the first difference is that all purchases is done in case of centralized purchasing, all purchases is done by the separate department known as purchase department. So, purchasing is done by special department known as purchase department. In case of decentralized purchasing, every individual department makes the purchasing. So this is done by individual departments. Like for example, purchase department do their own purchasing, marketing department they conduct their own purchasing. So that is, there is no special department, individual department conducts the purchasing. So this is the first point. The second point is it is more economical as more economical due to bulk buying. Here individual purchasing is done, so it is less economical. Now, as we have centralized department, so effective control over the material can be exercised. Effective control can be there. Less effective control is there in case of decentralized purchasing. Less effective control. Right. Now, next, no duplication of material. No duplication of material is there in case of centralized purchasing. As we know that how much material do we have, so duplication is avoided in case of centralized purchasing, but in case of decentralized purchasing every single department is doing their own purchasing, so duplication of material can be there. There can be certain materials which are available with one department and other department may have same material, so duplication of material can be there. Duplication of material is there in case of decentralized purchasing. Now, Another, delay in placing the order. In case of centralized purchasing, first of all they will receive the requisition from each department and then only they will conduct the purchasing. After making the purchasing, they will send the requisition to the individual department, so it may cause delay. While in case of decentralized purchasing, no delay is there, no delay in purchasing, as each department know what they want to purchase, so there is no delay in purchasing. Next point, if the branches are scattered, it may prove to be a costly affair. Now, if branches are scattered, it is costly, right? But it is more beneficial. Decentralized purchasing is more beneficial when branches are scattered. So hope you are clear with the difference between centralized and decentralized purchasing. Now, what is the purchase procedure? First of all, before starting the purchasing, we receive the material requisition. So identification of material is basically we receive the material requisitions. Then we invite the quotations, and after invite the quotations, these quotations are being, when we receive the quotations, we analyze the quotations and we place the order after analyzing the best price. Now, once we have followed the purchase procedure, the second step is receiving of the material. Receiving department unpacks the goods and verify the content of packages. Receiving clerk prepares 5 copies. The original copy is sent to the purchase department. 3 copies are sent to the production department. Then this production department sent 1 copy to the inspection department, other copy to the accounts department, and 1 copy is retained by the production department for future reference. Next point, inspection of material. Now, inspection of material. After receiving the material, basically the receiving department only verifies the count or weight, but inspection department checks whether the goods are up to the specification. That is, whatever quality we have ordered, it belongs to the same quality. They may conduct laboratory test of samples if required. So that is the work of inspection department. After the inspection of goods, we store the material. After proper checking, the storekeeper store the material. A proper system of classification and codification of material. We assign codes to the material. Like we have different raw materials for different products. So we assign proper codes to the material. It can be alphabetical codes, it can be numerical codes, it can be alphanumeric codes. So we assign codes to the material, and after, the purpose of codification is that it helps in instant availability of material to different departments. So that is the storage of material. Thank you.